So how would we feel if a relationship broke up and you did discover that your partner had moved on with another man?
Well, I was in that situation, yeah. I mean, so I was at university. I was 18 years old, and I met this amazing person who I fell in love with, and we were the first for each other on so many levels. We went out with each other for 4 years. He was the love of my life. I was the love of his life. We talked about, you know, you do when you first meet somebody, kind of, well, you might not, but I did. Talked about what we were going to name our first child and everything like that. So, honestly, he was like, it was just amazing. And then he was at university for 4 years. I was there for 3 years, and then I left to go back home. And you know, we used to call each other all the time. And then there was a week where he didn't call me. And in those days, we didn't have mobile phones, so I was in the red telephone box, putting my 20p's in, 10p's, like, hello, hello. And he said to me, hi. I said, you haven't phoned for a week, are you all right? And there was silence. And honestly, you know, remember, I come from a really strict background. I'd never been able to go out, never been able to mix with boys. So this guy was my everything. He said, are you all right? I said, yeah, I'm fine. He said, are you sitting down? I'm like, no, I'm in a telephone box. Another 5p, like, you know. And he said, I've got something to tell you. I hope you're going to be all right, but I'm gay. I was so traumatic, I can't even remember what happened after that. It was just like my whole world had collapsed. I didn't even know what it meant. I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean you're gay? I remember saying that, and he was like, I'm gay. And then, obviously, the conversation. But looking back now, and you know, sort of quite soon afterwards, I kind of came to terms with it. And I knew, obviously, that was meant for him, that was his life. And a few years ago, he adopted a little baby girl, and he named her the name that we were going to give our baby, which was Sophia. So I've always kept in touch with him because he's just such a special part of my life. So for me, it was nice, but it is a shock, and it's heartbreaking, and it's kind of
But it was just the shock that it was over.
It was the shock that it was over, and I never thought I would ever meet anybody again, or I would love like that again. Yeah. But now, looking back, I'm very happily married with my family. I just think, you know, that was meant to be, and put it into perspective. But yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, I always think it just, I've actually thought about this quite often, and you think if it were to happen, I would so desperately want them to be what they want to be, and to be their true selves, rather than potentially live in a relationship with me and then it not being what they want in their life. I think that just must be it. They're not really truly happy. Yeah. And you, as much as you might love this person, it's not meant to be, because that's not what they are. I think it must be. It took a lot of courage, I'm sure, for him to have to say those words to you, and to go and live the life he's supposed to live.
But weirdly enough, all my friends at university, when I told them, they said, yeah, we did know about it. We couldn't really try and tell you. It's like, well, everybody else knew except me. But my friend said, well, he did, like, you know, go shopping with you, and those are all the sort of signs, you know, like choose your makeup for you and all that. I was like, oh, yeah, there were kind of quite a few obvious signs, perhaps, but I was a bit blind to it when you're in love.
But you say that obviously you were great friends, and you still are great friends, and you kind of got over it quite quickly. Do you think you'd have felt the same way if he'd left you for another woman?
Oh, I don't know. Don't know.
I think that's different. I think if somebody left me for a man, I would go, OK, that's the way he is. There's nothing I can do about that.
Exactly.
You know, it doesn't matter if all of a sudden now I lose 5 stone and I go and get sexy underwear or whatever. He's
not going to change.
He's never going to. That's the person he is. You know. I think it's harder with a woman in a way, because you always think, oh, is it me? He's gone off and he doesn't fancy me anymore.
Has he gone for a better version of me?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, and I don't think I'd be best friends with her like I am with him.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think it would make a difference.
I think it probably is as well. It's more difficult the other way around, isn't it?